Good evening, friends. This is Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer of Treasury Consulting PT Limited and also a VC. Today we are going to shoot a video which is the current treasury management systems which we have, are they going to die or they're going to survive? I hope you must be thinking what kind of video we are shooting, and this is closer to 10 minutes short video. Today the world is ruled by two treasury management systems, which is Murex and Calypso. Of course, our treasury management system will come probably by 2022, maybe 2021, not before than that. Now, carefully see that the banking system of the globe is changing at a very faster pace. And sitting today at the Singapore, we need to appreciate that banking system is changing so fast that maybe Singapore itself not aware of the fact that maybe 3 years down the line, whatever banking you see might not be the reality, or it would be only in the books or might be in the history. So let's take few example. We have blockchain which is coming in the banking, smart contracts coming in the banking, we have artificial intelligence coming in the banking, and now we have machine learning coming in the banking. But let me not talk what exactly going to happen. Let me first go in the history and then let's see that what was history. We started with ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. And today there are two players in the enterprise resource planning, which is SAP and Oracle. We know that SAP is having an advantage. On the contrary, Oracle is not that level of advantage compared to we are having in SAP. So more or less the business is in the hands of SAP. Cost, higher cost or lower cost, that is something which we are not discussing. SAP functionalities are also good. But as we understand that one of the biggest problem with any of the ERPs of the globe, either it's SAP, Oracle or anyone, is that it's a garbage in and garbage out. So whatever you're putting into it, it's giving you whatever you're putting into this much level of information, you are getting you are getting it again. If you put the garbage, you get the garbage. If you put the right information, you get the right information. Another problem with the ERP which unfortunately S4HANA, because we used to have R3, now we move to S4HANA, which S4HANA not been able to resolve is the analytics. So analytics is something which HANA is also not been able to resolve, So these are, then slowly banking involved, especially in the markets like Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai, Hong Kong. And two people, Murex and Calypso, they came up with their own TMS system, which is Treasury Management System. Because sitting at Singapore, we know that it's a treasury center of the globe. Number one treasury center of the globe, and they would continue to be, because the way they thrive the business, the way they create the sandboxes, and government is always business pro, regulator is more or less your friend, in fact better than your friend, and regulator himself always wanted to do so many things, always in the action mode. So Singapore would continue to be the number one treasury center of the globe. I have no doubt about that. And of course, the current prime minister and then the current prime minister did pretty well. And now the prime minister which is coming up, he also having a banking background. So hopefully this would be wonderful for Singapore in the next 5 years of the ruling of the government, and we'll make a better Singapore. And we thank you to the current prime minister for giving such a wonderful environment we are having in the Singapore, and of course the former prime minister Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. But when did the Murex came? When did the Murex came? Once Singapore turned out to be the financial center, then slowly few companies decided to create a separate kind of ERP which is known as TMS, Treasury Management System. Here comes Murex and Calypso. For a period they fought with each other, and then Murex take the lead because Calypso is more or less in the hands of VC now, and Murex is having more client. But according to me, Murex is a worthless product. Murex is something now, why, before giving any comment, let me prove it to out and link with the future. So biggest issue which we have the Murex is that if you are going to link this Murex with any feeder, it could be Reuters and Bloomberg, then the linking is pretty tough. We know that when we come to feeder, either it's a Reuters or a Bloomberg, then they are continuously updating. Now 2021 SOFR is coming. Who will give the pricing of SOFR? Reuters or Bloomberg? Where how the SOFR analytics would happen? Reuters and Bloomberg. Whether you have Murex or Calypso, you need to link this with the feeder, and that feeder is nothing but Murex and Calypso. Murex is not a very compatible tool as far as the linking of the feeder is concerned, and also they are very restrictive in nature as far as the linking of RICs are concerned. RIC stands for Reuters Identification Code, if you're talking in the Reuters parlance, right? So you cannot import as many as RICs as possible. So there is a limitation to it. That is why most of the banks across the globe, they developed their own FX engine. So example, Goldman Sachs, they are having their own prop engine in place rather than dependent upon the Murex, and so on and so forth. But now the world banking is moving. World is moving towards blockchain architecture. World is moving towards artificial intelligence. World is moving towards machine learning. In blockchain architecture, we are moving towards smart contract. The question here is that, is the Murex is ready for blockchain? Is the Murex, which is having so many problems, the problems, feeders is not integrated. The biggest problem with the Murex that analytics is not working. If you have any deal in the Murex and you are thinking that it would be able to compute the mark to market, either it is L1, L2 or L3, then I'm sorry, it is not possible. Even if it is possible, then the number which is coming out of it is subject to huge interpretation issue. So I just take an example, Singtel. Assuming Singtel is having Murex, and Singtel is a company, it's nothing but the Vodafone of Singapore. So Singtel is having huge amount of derivative exposure. And if I remember correctly, they have, apart from Sing dollars, they are having euro, Swiss franc, Japanese yen and multiple US dollars, multiple currency. And they are having options, swaps and lot of interesting derivatives which they are having. Now all these derivative contracts are supposed to valuation at the end of the month. So example, you are taking a derivative contract of 10 years and then this is subject to have 120 times of revaluation. Because 10 years into 12, 1 year is 12, 10 into 12, 120 times. 120 times. But what exactly is the Murex? Is the people, those who are having Murex, are they able to get the mark to market valuation? Are they able to get the valuation? Are they able to get the right mark to market? Or is the auditors are really dependent upon Murex? You please ask this from Murex. Before having such treasury management system in place, don't just go by the brand. First see exactly whether is this brand suffice enough to give you the valuation or this is only a brand in place. Just check from Murex. If you don't get the answer, you know me very well. Alternatively, when the world is moving to blockchain, artificial intelligence and machine learning, we need to appreciate that current treasury management system should also be in line with that. So it should not happen that like take an example of the DBS, Development Bank of Singapore. DBS yesterday, or I think day before yesterday, they launched the Robo Investment Advisor. Now DBS is having a TMS in place. Is the DBS now there are two parallel functions which is happening. First, banks front office are changing at a very faster pace, and we also need to appreciate that, very clearly appreciate that the front office role is more or less automated now. So gone are the days when a huge force going to manage the front office. Maybe a few years down the line, the front office, you will see only 10 to 15 people in DBS managing the entire front office of the DBS Singapore. And this might not be only in the books, this would be the practicality soon. Banks front office are changing faster pace, but the front office information is coming to treasury management system. Is the Murex and Calypso are ready for blockchain? Are they ready for artificial intelligence and machine learning, and in which respect? In which respect? Let me quote this. DBS, UOB, OCBC, the top three local banks we have here, and amongst the best banks of the globe, they are taking energy positions and commodity position. There is no doubt that they are not taking energy position. Now energy position, the mark to market accounting of the energy, on the contrary, mark to market or accounting of the other asset classes like fixed income, foreign exchange, I would say equities, they are total 5: fixed income, foreign exchange, equity, commodity and energy. So if I take 2 out, I left with 3. The 3, fixed income, foreign exchange and equity, the mark to market happening here is completely different than mark to market happening in energy and commodity. And in energy, mark to market is little tougher. Is the Murex is compatible enough to create the mark to market of energy? And moreover, now there is a lot of action which is happening on the energy front, lot of action which is happening on the machine learning front, that can be able to do the pattern detection first and do the the probabilistic modeling using the machine learning. Is the TMS is compatible with that? What I see to wind up is this video is that 3 years down the line, you would be having 3 systems in place. 2 you already have. One is ERP and one is treasury management system. We would have a separate system which would be a blockchain based system wherein everything would be happening blockchain, because the current TMS are not in a situation to integrate, or might be God knows 10 years down the line you would have only one system, and that system would be SAP or Oracle, which is nothing but the ERP, enterprise resource planning. That system would be TMS, and that system would link with the blockchain architecture. So there is a humongous effort which is happening as well as the treasury management system is concerned. But we also need to appreciate very well that is that treasury management system which we are installing in our company, is that treasury management system is in sync, or it is only the brand on which we are going. Please do not forget that before wind up this video, RCOM, Reliance Communication, was a brand, it failed. You know, your Jet Airways was a brand, it failed. London Stock Exchange is now on the set to fire 250 people. SAP is a brand, fired more than 400 and 500 people, 4,500. State Street is a brand, they are on the firing. DBS also firing. Lehman Brothers, you know, your Lehman Brother, beer strengths. There was a time in 2004-5 people used to die to work as an analyst in beer strengths. Do we know that beer strengths actually, where exactly is the beer strengths? So before having implementation of the treasury management system, don't be an idiot. Don't go with the logo. Just exactly see what are the functionality they are offering. There are a lot of issues which we have in the treasury management system, but unfortunately they are not coming in the public domain. Reason being, nobody wanted to talk it about. We wanted to talk it about. We don't worry about these people, what the feedback they carry. In case you wanted to discuss more, you know my mobile number 91, which is an Indian code, 9 followed by 9899242978. Alternatively, you visit our fixed income platform www.fixedincome.global. Here you get a lot of information. But before winding up this video, Treasury Consulting would like to tell you that it's a matter of few days and our foreign exchange magazine is on the cards. And we would be very limited company in the Asia who would have our own publication desk. And maybe tomorrow and very soon we are going to introduce our editor as well, Mr. Vaibhav Bajpayee, to you. He would be coming in the public domain and he will give you his introduction. He would be acting as an editor of our magazine and to be operate from Singapore. With this, Treasury Consulting, thank you. A lot of action is on the way. Don't worry that we are now in the machine learning and a lot of stuff. But of course, we are a very practical company, never be a theoretical one. And I know that few people don't really like this video. And this is what we exactly want. Thank you.